Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to agricultureinformation.com webinar. Today we are going to interact with Mr. Sunil Agarwal on Cymbidium cultivation. And the format of this webinar will be as follows. I will mute everyone in the audience except Mr. Sunil. Mr. Sunil will make his presentation. After we listen to him, we can ask our questions. And you can ask your questions by typing your questions in the chat box, or you can also email me at ed@agricultureinformation.com. I repeat, ed@agricultureinformation.com. And I'll ask the same questions to Mr. Sunil. And if you have time, I may unmute one or two members in the audience so that you can directly talk to Mr. Sunil. Mr. Sunil, I am unmuting you now. You can start your presentation.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, you can start.
Hello, I am Sunil from Darjeeling Gardens Private Limited. I look after the Cymbidium orchid cultivation in Darjeeling, Mirik. So we are growing Cymbidium orchids in Mirik, which is the world costliest orchid. So Cymbidium, Mirik is known to be the ideal place for growing Cymbidium.
Mr. Sunil?
So, yes, ma'am.
Your voice is little low. Can you speak little louder? And there is light disturbance also.
Hello.
Little bit disturbance is coming. Can you speak little louder?
Hello.
Yeah, now right. Okay.
For the cultivation of Cymbidium, the requirements of light is about need the intensity, need hello. Cymbidium is the world's costliest orchid, and it is basically grown in it is mostly grown in Australia and New Zealand. And Holland is also the growers for Cymbidium. They are also growing Cymbidium for a long time. So we have been procuring our planting materials from Australia, Valley Orchid, and few varieties also. We are getting few varieties from the Netherlands, Floricultura company. Now, how do we grow Cymbidium orchids? The Cymbidium orchids, we are getting it in the flask. Now this that flask. We get the flask from Australia or Netherlands, and then we harden the plants. It takes around, from the flask to flowering, it takes around 3 years to flower, and it takes around 3 years to flower, and it requires cooler temperature. The temperature required for the growing of Cymbidium plants is around 25 to 28. Or we can say 20 to 28 degree temperature. But at the time of flowering, it requires the temperature of 10 to 20 degrees centigrade. Now, the relative humidity, the RH should be between 50 to 80%, and it can be, the humidity can be controlled by spraying of water on the roof or the floors, or we can use exhaust fan also. The light intensity can be controlled by the shade net, and the shade net we required is around 50% to 70%. But at the time of flowering, we required side shade net also. We don't require the poly shade. We require the open area. The shade net should be around 25%. That is to protect Cymbidium flowering plants from the insects. The substrate we are using for the Cymbidium is coco peat. We are using coco peat as the media. The coco peat is mixed with the media is the mixture of coco peat and the perlite. Now we maintain, like for the Cymbidiums, the fertilizer required. For the growing period, in India we have the growing periods from the flowering. Basically, the Cymbidium plants basically flowered at the time of winter, from October till April. Now, from October till April, from October till April. Now, the growing period is from March to October. Now, at the time of growing period, for Cymbidium, we require high nitrogen fertilizer. That is, we put 20-10-10 in the summer season for growing of Cymbidium plants, and in the flowering time we use 5-15-30. So in the winters we are using low nitrogen fertilizer because the plants don't take food to the time of flowering. So here most of the local farmers in the Darjeeling Hills, as well as the northeast states like Sikkim or Meghalaya, they are using leaf mulch. Leaf mulch is the compost material of fresh leaves. There are special leaves called the local people called kattus, the plants of kattus. They use those leaves and they make the compost of those leaves and use for the feeding of the plants as the media of the plants. Now, now, like when the plants, the age of the plants, the irrigation of the plants, for the irrigation of plants, this Cymbidium plants requires very less fertilizer. This cut flower is the costliest flower in the world. This is the costliest flower in the world, and we are selling in India. We are selling it at. There are 3 grades of flowers. There are 3 sizes of flowers. One is standard flowers, intermediate, and miniature one. The miniature are mostly used for pot plants. The standards are used for cut flowers, and intermediate are sometimes used as cut flower as well as pot plant also. The cut flowers are sold in, we are selling cut flowers in Delhi, Bombay, Pune for rupees, like we have A+ grade, A+, A, B and C grades. A+ grades are sold at rupees 300 per sticks. But the people, there are lot of florists who are importing it from Holland. They are getting it, the landing price of each stick is 700 per stick. Now, when we see the irrigation is like whenever the media is dry, we have to irrigate the plants. Now, for the fertilizer, the requirement of fertilizer is very low because the frequency of fertilizer, we put fertilizer at the time of growing, like summer season, we are putting like 4 times in a month. Every week we are giving fertilizer to the plants at the rate of 2 grams per liter, and depending on the size of the plants. Now, in the winters, the frequency of fertilizer is little lower, like 3 times or 2 times in a month. Now, the age of the plants has no limit. It can be flowering till 25 years. When the bulbs are increases in numbers, the number of bulbs are increases, like when it goes to 12 or 13 bulbs per plants, then we can separate the plants also. We can separate it into 2 or 3 plants. At least a plant will consist of at least 3 bulbs. One bulb where the flower has been cut, who gives the flower, and the other new shoot, and the third bulb is the matured bulbs. Now, from the propagation can be also taken from the bag bulbs also. When the bag bulbs, if we pot the bag bulbs will give new shoot, and that new shoot can be used as plants. The plants which are coming from the bag bulbs, they are early flowering. They flowers like the normal seedlings. They give flower after 3 years, but the seedlings coming from the bag bulbs, they give flower after 2 years. Now the market, there is a the biggest. Hello.
Yeah, please continue.
the biggest the the biggest producer, the largest producer of the Cymbidium is Australia and New Zealand. The New Zealand varieties are very famous, like kiwi orchids. Kiwi orchids provides the best quality of Cymbidium planting materials in the world. But the flowering season for Australia and New Zealand is the time when we have summers. So we can easily compete with them because in winters they have no flowers. So we can easily compete in the international market. We have got lots of orders from Dubai, from Taiwan, from Japan. But due to because a lot of people are not commercially involved in this field, we have ventured in this business in the year 2008. So we are taking it into a commercial level. So and the flowering takes around 3 years, 4 years. But after 5 years, you get the quality. As the age of the plant increases, the quality, the quantity of the sticks is also increases. Like after the 5th year, we can in the year 15-16, we will be importing and we will be having a stock of around 70,000 cut flowers. So if there is any question, you can ask me.
Okay. Thank you for the information. Mr. Rakesh, I will unmute you. You can directly talk.
What are the probable diseases?
Okay. 1 second.
For the flowering plants? Like the Cymbidium is going to be the easiest crop. They can be grown very easily. This most of the most common diseases for the Cymbidium is like the fungal diseases. Fungal diseases are very prominent in this plant. There is no other than viral infection. There is no prominent or probable diseases occurring in this plants. Like only the fungal. We have to be very careful about the fungal diseases. Like there we can find sometimes the problems of root rots because of the water, or because it also requires moisture, and it is grown in the hilly region where the humidity is always above 90%. So the fungal diseases are very probable for this flowering plants. Now, for this flowering plants.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Rakesh, you can ask your questions now.
Yeah, hi Sunil, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, good. So, frankly, this is the first time I'm actually hearing about this flower, Cymbidium, and it looks like this is an exotic flower. The only thing that I know so far is different types of orchids. So, is this just another variety of the orchid flower, or this is a different type of flower actually?
No, this is a orchid.
Okay.
No, this is the orchid.
The only purpose is this is used like an exotic show flower that we get in the flower phase, or there are some other applications of this flower as well.
Yeah, this flower actually, the people are very much, they are not aware of this flower because these flowers are very particular with the cultivation, because they need Cymbidium is grown mainly in the northeastern states and the Darjeeling Hills. But if you take other flowers like Dendrobiums or Cattleya or Venda, those other orchids, if you see the other orchids, they have the lots of area of cultivations, and people are known to it. They are known to it. So, but this is a orchid, and these orchids are used as bouquet. This orchid, the single stick of Cymbidium, is itself a bouquet, because the stick is if we say the A+ grade of cut flowers for Cymbidium, you can see it is around 90 centimeter. The length of the stick is around 90 centimeter, and 2/3 of the stick is covered with flowers. like 50 blooms, 12 blooms, 13 blooms, and each blooms and each flowers, you can the size of each flowers. If we see the length of the petals, the size of each flower is around 15 centimeters. So the flowers are big, the stick is big, so it looks and the vase life of this flower is a month. You can you can put it in the vase. It will remain fresh as it is, like for a month. And if it is in the pot, it will last for 2 months, 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Hello, Rakesh.
So are there, Sunil, are there any medicinal uses also for this plant?
Pardon? Can you please repeat the
My
question?
question was, are there any medicinal uses also for this flower, or this is only
No,
used for the show purpose?
This is only used for the cut flower, because if we talk about the Cymbidium, we are growing Cymbidium hybrids. There are a lot of, most of the Cymbidium, the wild varieties of Cymbidiums. We are growing hybrids for commercialization, but there are lots of wild varieties, like the people of Bhutan. They are growing Cymbidium, wild variety Cymbidium, for consuming, for consumption. And like liliums, the lilium bulbs are also edible. Like there is a company in Switzerland who are making cosmetics. There are few wild varieties of Cymbidium which are used for cosmetic purpose. So So they give them the varieties to cultivate, and these Cymbidiums are wild variety Cymbidiums are used for those, making cosmetics and all. No medicinal purpose.
Okay. All right. So, how about, can this also be grown in, I think initially you were saying that this requires, this is a very narrow bandwidth for the temperature, like 20 to 28 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And during flowering, the temperature cannot go outside 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, right?
No, it can, it can go below that. It can go below that.
Oh, okay. So it has to be below 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, right? Maximum that during flowering it can go up to is 20 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so which obviously makes it a very kind of, limited flower. It cannot be grown everywhere. So let's say if we have to grow it in other places, is a greenhouse a viable solution to do that?
No, actually, only the greenhouse. It requires some natural. Like if you build a greenhouse in Bhopal, then it is not possible. But there is a place in Munnar. You know Munnar in Kerala.
Yes.
Munnar in Kerala. Munnar. So in the place of Munnar, they are growing Cymbidium. But around these places, it is also very favorable for the growing of Cymbidium also. I have sent few Cymbidium plants in Ooty, and it is also successful in the place of in Ooty region. But I don't know why the people are not interested. Maybe it takes a long time to grow or something like that. But the guy who I had sent those Cymbidium plants, he was very happy and the result was positive. But I don't know why he is not taking the initiative. Because if it is grown in that area also, and the demand for the Cymbidium is there is a good demand for the Cymbidium in Bombay. But the market for this Ooty and the Munnar is very nearer as we compared in Darjeeling or Sikkim.
Okay. And does it require high or medium water?
No, it requires medium water. It requires the water with very low EC, And in the hills of Darjeeling, we have we have stream water. So the EC of the stream water is very low, so it is very good for irrigation.
Okay. And
soil preparation, about the soil preparation, we are there are two techniques of soil. One is the modern techniques where we can use coco peat plus perlite, like coco peat and perlite in the ratio of 3:1, and sometimes you can also use vermiculite also. And if there is other local techniques where we can use leaf mull or cow dung also, but those are not acceptable if we are exporting the plants or exporting the cut flowers to few countries of Europe. So,
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Rakesh, you were saying something?
Yeah, so I just trying to understand. So basically, polyhouse or the greenhouse is not a good way to grow this flower, right? Can you reconfirm that? Mr. Sunil, can you hear me?
Mr. Sunil, you are there? Mr. Sunil? I think he got disconnected. I'll just call him on.
Okay.
hello, आप connected दिखा रहे हैं मैम? हेलो, ठीक, लॉगिन करना है. हेलो.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Mr. Rakesh, you can continue now.
All right, Mr. Sunil, I was actually asking you if polyhouse is a complete no-no for this kind of a flower. So like you were saying, natural light is recommended or required for this flower, which means polyhouse or a greenhouse is a complete no-no?
No, not a complete no-no. When at the time of hardening, because the flowering at the time of hardening, we required a greenhouse. We required a very good greenhouse where the temperature can be controlled and the humidity can be controlled. But after it gets hardened, and when after it gets hardened after 6 months, or when it reaches to 2 years, then we don't need a good greenhouse. We need only a shade, only a top poly sheet. Only a top poly sheet is enough. The side poly sheet is not required. You can put because we need good air inside the greenhouse. The flow of the air should be very good. Like because to protect to fetch the quality of flowers, we have put like for the side area we have put 25% shade net to protect it from the insects and all. So we can say the complete no-no. we at least need a top shade, top poly sheet on the greenhouse,
No,
so that we can
actually the
protect it
reason I'm
from rain.
asking because the reason I'm asking because the place where I have this land, if I were to ever think about growing Cymbidium, the
Mhm.
temperatures in summer basically between 20 degrees in the night to about 45 degrees during the daytime.
Uh-huh.
And so it is basically the extremities on both sides. And during winter, the temperatures slip down to about 0 degrees C and
Oh,
maximum about 12 to 14 degrees C.
no, it is fine, because if you have maximum temperatures in the summers, we and in the temperature you are saying, that requires a greenhouse. That requires a greenhouse, and your, because the temperature you are saying, like what is the length of summers? What is the length of summers in your area, in that area?
Uh, so it basically starts from let's say mid of March, and
Okay,
extends up to mid of June basically.
mid of June. And then in the rainy season, in the monsoon, what is the,
So middle of June extends to end of September maybe, sometimes
uh,
early October.
the same as here. We have also, like sometimes in America, in the summertime we have 20 or 18, but uh, in the summers in the night, and in the daytime we have 28 or 25 or sometimes 24, and it is always foggy. So we need, but the temperature you are saying, if it is going beyond, it is going like 45 or something, we can control that. And the flowering, you have the temperature for the winters is good, but the summers is little higher side, like 45 is very
So
high.
yeah,
So
basically, how about
that requires
yeah?
that requires a greenhouse.
Okay. Because I have been using some fogger systems to basically control the temperatures.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah, we,
typically brings down the temperature by 10 to 12 degrees. In the open atmosphere, I'm
yeah.
able to reduce the
Hmm.
temperature by 10 to 12 degrees C.
Hmm. Then it is possible. You can try few symbidiums for for your experiment in something. You can find it is the easiest crop also. If you do it to simply with the seeds with few plants, 10 or 15 plants, then you can see the if the 45-degree doesn't hamper anything, then it is fine for you.
Okay. So you basically do you export everything, or this is
No,
all consumed locally?
this is all consumed in the domestic market, actually. We can't complete the demand for the local market. We're still
So
we
you're
have
saying
still,
whatever you grow is actually consumed within the country itself.
yeah, and still we
Okay.
don't complete the gap of the demand in the market,
I see.
because
So in how much area do you grow? I mean, you yourself as a
we
company,
have,
you mentioned you're from Darjeeling Gardens, right?
yeah, yeah. We are growing it in a 6 acre of land. As you know, in the Darjeeling Hills, they are terrain land, so it has been scattered. Like the area has been scattered, and we have small poly house in the terrain of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So we have around three. We have around two area. We have two plots. One is 3 acre and one is another is other 3 acre. So we are growing some mediums in 6 acre with we have around 1 lakh plants of 40 to 50 varieties.
Okay. So like you said, how much time does it take for this plant to grow? Full blossom actually, from seedlings, from plantation to
From
blossom.
flask, when you deflask the plant, it takes 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah, 3.5 years for flower.
Okay,
Sometimes
and
it will
after
gives
that,
you,
it is a perennial flowering, right?
Yeah, but like it is a seasonal flower. It gives flower every winter. Every winter it will be flowering. Like, but in the first year you may get one stick from a plant. In the next year you can get two sticks from a plant, and it can increases to 12 or 10, or sometimes it can increases up to 6. Increase the plants. Like as the age increases, the number of sticks also increases.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And what are the challenges of farming this flower?
The first and the foremost challenges is the planting materials. The planting materials is very hard to get in India, and the cost of planting materials, if we are getting it from Australia or New Zealand, the cost of planting materials is very high. They come up to across approximately, if we are importing a small, if we are importing the plants, each plant cost you, India landing price, each plant cost you 120 rupees. And in few 120 rupees, it is when you are getting it from the Netherlands, and around 150 rupees when you are getting it from Australia. And the other challenges are like, though it are very, this cultivation of these plants is has a very limited area, and the area where it is cultivated, the lands are very barren. It is very difficult to find a good land in a big state where you can construct, you can build a greenhouse in a very, you have to build a very small greenhouse where the cost of land development and the cost of greenhouse automatically goes higher. So the cost of land development and construction of greenhouse is difficult, and is very difficult, and it is very higher. The cost is very higher to do this crop. And the other difficulties of cultivation, like you have to be very patient, because it takes around 3.5 years to flower. So you have to wait for 3 to 4 years. And if there is any mistake you are making on the selection of varieties, then you can see, because after 3.5 years you can see what is the flower, what flower is coming after 3.5 years. You have put you have devoted your 3 years into the plants, and after 3 years, if you see the plants is giving a very bad flowers or something, then it will demotivate you to go into this business. So you have to be very careful. Either you have to import who can give as much assurance the quality of planting materials and the quality which you are getting. So we have to be very careful about the company who are supplying you the planting materials.
So the varieties that you basically import, are these the same varieties that one would generally import from Netherlands or Australia, you are saying, or these are different varieties of Cymbidium?
No, these are not different varieties of Cymbidium. These are common. These are all, because if in our field everyone know about the varieties. Like if we say the Australians about these varieties, they know, because those varieties are hybridized in there only. The protocols are taken by different tissue culture farms, and they are developing the plants. Or sometimes the varieties are also developed by themselves also. If the farm has their tissue culture lab, they make their own. Variety. They make their own. Like they multiply their. If the variety is doing good, they keep on multiplying those varieties. Like in West Bengal, Kalimpong. In Kalimpong, there are a lot of tissue culture farms who are developing varieties of Cymbidium. They are not developing varieties of Cymbidium, sorry. They are multiplying Cymbidium plants, but they don't know which varieties are commercially demanded and which have to be, but they are not multiplying those varieties. So they are just selling their plants. So we have to be very careful about the varieties of plants which we are selecting at the time of selection.
So this cannot be done the hydroponic way. Is that right?
Yeah, hydroponic cultivation this is the hydroponic cultivation. Now, when you are doing it with the coco peat media, that is also coco peat also a soilless cultivation.
Oh, so you're saying coco peat is that the main holding agent, or this is done on the soil otherwise?
No, no, this is not done on the soil. This is not done on the soil. Either you can use modern techniques of coco peat, or you can use the local techniques of using leaf mull, and because most of the countries we have the planning of we are also planning to export pot plants, so we don't use we can't use this local media and all because we can't export media, so that is why we have to use coco peat. And
Oh,
for the
then
coco peat we have
how
to
do you, so basically then you supply the micronutrients for the growth of this plant?
yeah.
So can
We
you
are supplying
tell us what are the micronutrients required?
like basic micronutrients is required like sulfur, magnesium and iron. These ingredients require sulfur, magnesium and iron. But sometimes, if we are doing it into the coco peat, we have to have a schedule of fertigation. Like we get some complex fertilizer where we get all the fertilizer, where we get all the macro fertilizer as well as micro fertilizer, micronutrients we can say micronutrients.
Oh, you mean
So we are using,
those kind of coco peat modules are available?
yeah, those kind of coco peats modules are available in Bangalore, in Trinu Valley. Because when we have tried to when we were exploring about this project, we have talked to the Holland guy, and he told us about the company in India who are importing coco peat from them. So they made us a kind of media especially for Cymbidium. So there is a called PG mix or something. So they put some nutrients in the media, and we use those that coco peat for the cultivation of Cymbidium.
Can you repeat that? What did you say? PG mix, is that right?
Yeah, PG mix, something called PG mix. They don't want to disclose what is that PG mix.
Oh, so that basically you are saying is a coco peat module that has the micronutrients already mixed along with the coco peat.
No, yeah, coco peat a different. That PG mix is the nutrient mix, and I don't know what are the nutrients they are mixing. They are mixing.
Okay, but Sunil, don't you think the micronutrients have to be supplied on a constant basis to the flower? Because
yeah,
even if it
yeah,
is
that is
mixed
what
along
I
with
am
the
saying. That is what I am saying. We are using fertilizer, which are complex fertilizer. Those fertilizers are already mixed with macronutrients and micronutrients. So we are putting it in a schedule wise, because coco peat is a media which doesn't have anything. So we have a schedule like summer schedule and winter schedule. So we in the summers we are like weekly putting fertilizer to the media, to the plants. In the winters we are putting like 3 in a month in a plants, depending on the kind of temperature, if it is dry or if it is wet. Because the dryness of the media is very important, because we have to see that if the media is not dry, then we have to be very careful, because those give the chances of fungal disease. And as you said, we put fertilizer. We put fertilizer in a schedule, in a given schedule, because only the media, only the fertilizer which is in the media is not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, for example, if let's say I want to start on an experimental basis, so you'll be supplying the plants to anybody who wants to start this?
Yeah, because yeah, sure. We actually want to see. Actually, we are also very much interested if anyone is trying to grow in a different places. If it is successful in those places, then we have a very advantage of tied up with those people who are very much interested in doing. We can supply some technical, we can share technical knowledge, and because the market, we have to see the market. If the production is grown near the market, then it is very much easy for us to also explore it in a better way. Because if everyone is trying to grow this Cymbidium, then it creates an industry, or then we can explore, we can get a very good exposure on these orchids. Otherwise, if there are mere cultivators, 2 or 3 cultivators of Cymbidium, then there is no exposure of this orchid. So we have to expose. We are trying where, like we have also given few Cymbidium plants in Himachal Pradesh also. They are also growing and they have also getting flowers. But the flowering period is little late in that area. So we have to also see the growing period of the plants, because in some area the growing period is big, in some area the growing period is very small. If the growing period is very small, the flowering time is increases. The flowering time takes very long.
Okay. And can we sell these flowers directly to the florist, or does it financially feasible? Is it financially feasible?
No, we are selling it directly to the florist. We are selling it directly to the florist. We are selling it to Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad, there is some florist, I don't remember now. In Ahmedabad we are selling. In Hyderabad we are selling to the florist, and some event managers also in Bombay. We are selling it in Bombay. There are some florist Thakur flowers in Bombay. We are selling them also.
Okay.
So it is basically taken directly by the florist. Yeah.
What is the shelf life of this flower?
The shelf life of this cut flowers is maximum maximum 1 month.
Oh, 1 month.
The shelf life is 1 month. It depends on the variety, but some varieties like 20 days, or some varieties a month, some varieties more than a month.
So which varieties do you see are very popular commercially for the local market?
Like there are in the local market, they don't ask you for the varieties. They ask you if you have the bigger Cymbidiums of this color and this color and this color. They don't know the varieties. So the domestic market, still they are very much unaware of this Cymbidium. They just know the Cymbidium orchid and the color. They don't know the varieties. But in the international market, they ask you for the varieties. In India, they don't ask you. So we are now getting plants depending on which color are demanded, and which varieties has the good shelf life, or the patterns of the flowers. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of patterns of the flowers, like there are the hardness of the petals the hardness of the petals, the closure of the petals, everything we have to see. These are all depends on these factors are all associated with the vast life of the plant, vast life of the cut plant.
So you have 6 acres of land, right? And for how many years have you been doing this Cymbidium?
This has been we have completed 4 years, but as I already told you, it takes 3.5 years to flower, and any mistake you are taking at the time of planting material decisions, it will wait you for another 2 years or 3 years. So the mistakes, we have also made a lot of mistakes, but still we didn't lose our hope, because we have not we can see there is a good scope for this, because no bigger players in India is doing this Cymbidium, except in Sikkim. There is a farm called Menam Gardens. They are also growing Cymbidium in a very commercial view. They have also commercial view, but there are 2 players there who are growing Cymbidium. One is Darjeeling Gardens, and other is Menam Gardens only. So So
How do you spell the other
here we
company?
have Mainam Garden. They are also they are into this business for about they are into this business. They have completed their 15 to 16 years, and it is owned by the CM minister, CM wife.
Can you spell that on the chat box?
Can you type it in the chat box?
This is owned by Mrs. Chambling, who is the wife of CM, Chief Minister.
Okay. And since your company started this business, what has been your success rate?
So out of
Still we have we didn't we just when we have started this company to explore the market, we used to cut flowers from the farmers to encourage them to do more into this field, so that most of the farmers in this area, they sell their plants to the